What's up, y'all?
So, you guys all know that Spider-Man exists in the multiverse, right?
Right.
And with that comes a couple of universes, at least, where there are the worst Spider-Man that exists, right? So I thought like maybe we should depict what the worst Spider-Man would look like. I figured that the worst Spider-Man would also cause the worst accidents. If there's a series of tragic events that happens because of a Spider-Man's misdoings, that's gonna lead to blood and violence.
What I love about this idea is that the whole idea of like a multiverse and the idea of infinity is that every possible permutation of any type of action has happened in one of those universes. So whatever we do, it's canon.
Well, yeah, he's like eating a deli sandwich one day and he forgets to wipe his hands off and he's like carrying somebody to safety and they just slip right out.
Yeah.
Spider-Man grabbing people and then constantly dislocating the shoulder.
The only joke is, yeah, that's it.
We brought in resident expert Peter for this one. Now, you may not have seen him for a while, but there he is in the flesh.
I would argue that I have an encyclopedic knowledge of Spider-Man.
You've shattered records in terms of how many people have asked where you are.
I had to sign an NDA not talking about it. I got fired, if it's okay to say.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you were bad at your job. I put together a series of clips. So like,
Dude, just what we were talking
yeah,
about.
exactly. This is such an iconic scene for me. I'd love to do something.
This rated R.
I'd love to do something where his face is like really f***ed up. Come here, baby.
Tally ho.
Tally ho. Who says that?
Dude, what a stunt.
I love this.
Yeah, it is. You can tell that's a stunt double too.
Oh, it's asking
Splat.
for it.
Anyway,
It's asking for
it's
it.
just asking for
Yeah.
it. Right?
So right there, the arms immediately come straight off.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so it's just like armless Spider-Man. It's like, now what I do?
That was my
and that
first
other
thought.
guy is like, got any bright ideas? And it's like, I got a few. And then he kicks off his boots and used the web shooters that we didn't know about on his
Oh, web shooters. Yeah, I love it.
And then he kind of like, and then grabs onto it with his toes.
Then he like falls forward, but his feet are still attached, and he ends up turning into a cheese grater along the train tracks, just like slicing off parts of his head up to his chest, up to his knees.
Grinding down to a nub.
Yeah.
Well, it is a multiverse. There could be multiple ways
They
that this
pass
might
each
happen.
other on
Yeah.
the tracks.
Sam's done with it. I mean, this is just the meme.
This is the
I
best scene in
don't know what to
the
do with
entire
this yet.
movie.
Oh,
And then-
Had to be.
of course.
Yeah.
And then, you know, this is also.
Cut to Clint
Classic.
saying, "Oh, look at that neck."
Oh, look at that neck!
Oh boy.
I mean, we know it's coming.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. That's pretty much what that is.
Just a mist
Yeah.
comes out, a fine
Yeah.
mist.
That's what we got so far.
Great.
Boys, what do you think?
Some good options.
Very excited about these effects.
Yeah, me too, dude. We have a bunch of clips here to work with, so let's make this stuff R-rated and offend our grandmothers. So, I'm tasked with taking all of these fun little scenes where we're killing Spider-Man and marrying them together into a sort of story, right? And I'm trying to figure out how it's all gonna work together. I thought that the best way to kind of bring these stories together of this multiverse is through the eyes of Mobius, who is in the show Loki. Mobius is basically a time cop. He goes through all the alternate timelines in the multiverse and prunes them, eliminating any timeline that is a bad boy. These Spider-Men are causing mayhem and chaos. So he's going through all of these timelines and eliminating them. What that means is I have to place Owen Wilson, who plays Mobius, into all of these other Spider-Man scenes. It was a lot of just going through the entire show, picking the best scenes that help tell our story, and then using those scenes, rotoing out Owen Wilson and placing him in other scenes. So we need a bunch of shots of Owen Wilson looking down at things so that we can then put inserts of a notepad, which I'm trying to figure out what the best notepad is.
You can use my notepad.
Your notepad is ridiculous.
I'm out of paper. I'm not even joking. That's literally lost. Never mind. I take it back.
Yeah,
Sorry.
fired. You're out of here. But that's not the only trick up my sleeve, because we also have an incredible Owen Wilson impersonator.
Jet puffed marshmallows from a camping trip with the family.
And he's coming in today.
How are you?
A pleasure having the one and only Owen Wilson.
I woke up in my van in Malibu. A couple of my shaman friends last night climbed K2.
Oh, wow.
But that's what we call Kevin Spacey's house because Vince Vaughn's thinking of buying it, so we went up there to cleanse the place with some Palo Santo. We ended up doing some base jumping, and I just woke up in Malibu on the sand.
Oh.
And then the first thing that happens, I immediately see a dolphin, and I'm like, wow. We form a bond right away. And then I turn on my radio, and it's Mamas and the Papas, California Dreamin'.
Oh wow, yeah. One of my
Couldn't have
favorites.
planned it
Yeah.
anymore. And then it follows up with Monday, and it's a Monday.
What we need from our talented actor, Peter Gilroy, is a narration that helps drive our story and fill in the gaps where we need it. So I've already written a script for this. He's also a very funny comedian, so I'm hoping that we can get a lot of fun stuff that we never expected. We want all those little, like, because you've studied Owen Wilson for a very long time.
I've just
Correct?
loved him. I've just loved him, and it just naturally happened. I don't know if I have perfect Owen pitch, but I just grew up watching him in Will Ferrell movies. Vince Vaughn, Will Ferrell, love those guys. Those guys, yeah, we're pals, we're amigos. It's all big one Bandito Escambad.
The key to Owen Wilson is the softness. You'd think he'd be overperforming, or you think he'd get loud in certain like emotional moments in a scene, but he quiets down.
I like how he's quiet. It's like I like how he's gentle and sweet and loving, and he has some of the best vibes in Hollywood and in all of the land.
Yeah. He gets almost down to a whisper.
If his house is on fire, he's like, "What is going on? It's so hot in here.
Help me! Help! Help! Anybody help!"
We have a fire department we can call. Are they our amigos? Are they our pals?
Exactly.
Can we form a bond with the fire department?
He'd never be able to call for help, ever. He'd get so quiet.
There's a little voice up in the room. Oh, I think you might need something.
Yeah, I appreciate you coming out and giving us all of your Owen Wilson that you had left in you. And same.
Namaste,
Same for you.
namaste.
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 There's a scene from Homecoming? Spider Coming of Homes. Homecoming? Far From Home? Far From Home's the new one. No Way Home. I'm so confused. Look, I haven't eaten all day. I've got Uber Eats on the way. It'll be here in 6 minutes. Challenge accepted. Can I get this whole breakdown done in 6 minutes? You bet I can. Spider-Man is trying to rescue his friends from a scary elevator accident. And then a helicopter comes in and he tries to swing a ding-ding around the helicopter. So here's the original shot. Let's take a look at that. He clears it because he's Spider-Man. But what if he didn't? And they just chop him up like a meat grinder. What are the steps I've got to do in order to make this shot a reality? First off, I need to track in a clean plate because I got to erase Spider-Man out of the shot. Pull from just little bits of the image where he's not covering it, compile that all into one big clean plate. So here's the clean plate, right? Voila, no Spider-Man. The next step is, of course, you've got to rotoscope out Spider-Man because what I've decided to do here is do this completely in 2D. No 3D elements here. I'm going to take the rotoscope Spider-Man and slice it into a couple different layers here. But then, of course, it doesn't work without a tremendous amount of blood elements. But not just blood, also these dust hits that you tint red so you can kind of get that like misty blood sort of look. And then, of course, you have the actual blood splatter that you track to the helicopter because it's going to get messy. It's right underneath an exploding Spider-Man. You know, it's funny. It's like, this isn't actually all that good in terms of like polish, but oh my God, he's here, my Uber's here. But as long as you can kind of nail the velocities and the motion and stuff like that, it feels more right. Now, I'm gonna go get my food and then I'll show you the 3D model that I spliced up.
You look familiar.
Do I?
Corridor?
Yeah, this is Corridor.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah.
Big fan. Great.
Cool.
I love how you guys did the Star Wars with
Oh, the deepfake?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
We're doing Spider-Man rated R, and I'm like filming my breakdown right now.
That's great.
Yeah, thanks a lot, man. Take care, have a good night. That's hilarious. I'm gonna edit my tip. Thanks for watching, Mauricio. Da-ding. Before I munch and crunch, I gotta finish this breakdown before I break down. He just got chopped up, right? So basically, I threw this model into a Voronoi fracture. And what that does is it takes your 3D model and breaks it up into chunks. So the idea is that I'm just gonna throw this into a simple rigid body simulation tumbling through the air. You give it some initial velocity, some initial rotation, and poof, you've got all these pieces falling, and they fall, and then they hit the ground. And I'm able to use just this one simulation for I think 3 different shots. Dude, I'm getting crazy now. I gotta eat. I'm gonna get a burger in my stomach.
Hey everyone, it's me, Brandrew Garfield.
live from New York City, back to tell you about today's sponsor, ExpressVPN. Now, you may have figured out in this video that all the Spider-Men are complete and utter disasters. And I gotta say, if you're not using today's sponsor, ExpressVPN, your internet experience is probably also a complete and utter disaster. And here's why. Because ExpressVPN gives you additional encryption. And just like I have this Spidey suit on here to hide my real identity, ExpressVPN's additional encryption is gonna add a layer of security to all the internet data that you put out onto the open internet, which means you're gonna be protected from hackers and other people who can steal your information and use it maliciously. And in addition to that, the best thing that ExpressVPN does is give you access to TVs and movies that might not otherwise be available in your country or region. They do this because they have servers in over 94 countries and in even more regions, and you can access the internet through those servers, thereby telling websites you're in a completely different place. They've been rated #1 by CNET and TechRadar, which means you're gonna get some of the fastest speeds available, and they have 24/7 customer support, and they're available on every device. Every time you need them, they're gonna be there for you. If you're interested in getting 3 months for free when you sign up for a year, head on over to expressvpn.com/corridorcrew, and that's exactly what you're gonna get. That's expressvpn.com/corridorcrew, and you're gonna get 3 months free when you sign up for a year. Anyways, I'm gonna get back to fighting crime and stopping all these other bad Spider-Men from being bad Spider-Men. See you later, dudes.
I opted to do one very particular shot of Tobey Maguire swinging full force into a concrete wall. I have intended to explode a body in Houdini for a long time now, and this seemed like the perfect opportunity. It's rated R, right? That's what we're going for. First things first, we're all wearing clothes, right? We should be wearing clothes. We start with a recreation of the shirt, pants, and shoes that Tobey was wearing. And with a little vellum simulation, a little bit of outside pressure through what are called metaballs, which are just basically forces applied from the inside of the cloth out, you're able to create this explosive effect of cloth just ripping and flying everywhere. We got the clothes off. Now we want to get that skin off, which is the exact same process. You just do the same thing. You put a force inside a body. All the skin is pre-cut. When it explodes out, those cuts tear so that you got a full-on explodey boy. Now, what's inside the body, right? We got blood and we got bits. Step one was hunky monkey chunks, right? I feel like that's a Ben & Jerry's flavor. The large chunks first. These are your thigh chunks, your feet, your head, your hands, like the larger pieces of the body. Those chunks bring a lot of weight to the explosion. So I did another sim and exploded that. It explodes into little tiny chunks. Putting those together with the big chunks, with the clothes, with the skin, you start to get a really nice look. But at this point, it's way too dry. So we gotta bring that wetness out. I actually did a kind of like a faux liquid sim as the first stage of this thing. It's what we call a grain simulation. It's actually a vellum simulation, kind of like cloth, but it treats particles as like wet sand. When you blow it up, you've got these like nice stringy long chunks that stick together. It's pretty gross, but it serves the purpose of giving you like another level, right? And now we reach our moist finale. Wish I never said that one. We've got our blood sprays. We want to feel how wet this thing is. What am I talking about? So I did 3 separate blood passes. I did the very thin, splashy blood, which is great for the initial impact as it flies out all over the place. And then I did the second pass with a little viscosity in the blood, the real nasty blood. So it hits the wall and this stuff sticks to the wall, but a lot of it will drip down. And I did 2 layers of this. I did a somewhat viscous blood simulation and an incredibly viscous blood simulation. And then last but not least, underneath all of that, I figured it would be cute to add the bones of Tobey Maguire. This whole thing is pretty cartoony anyway. Now you've got a situation where you've got a dent in the wall with the skeleton inside. When the blood oozes down and around, it's oozing out of that hole in the wall and around the bones of the skeleton. And that makes a big difference for the final product. I still need to render this stuff out and composite, so you'll have to wait till the end of the video to see the final, but I'm feeling pretty good about it.
We're making Spider-Man R-rated. We're tackling the best Spider-Man movie, The Amazing Spider-Man 2. The Spider-Man that dared to ask, what if Spider-Man was, like, hot? You know, Gwen Stacy, she's there to die. She's a character that's specifically made for the Spider-Man universe in order to get killed without her being Mary Jane Watson. This is the origin of, look at that neck, by the way.
Look at that neck! Dude, look at that neck snap! Ah!
He catches her with the web, and then whiplash. It's tasteful, okay? No blood, no guts, But that's not how we do things around here at Corridor Crew, okay? She needs to not even get caught by the web. No open casket funeral for Gwen Stacy, okay? It's not like you can just recontextualize footage of Gwen Stacy following. We don't have footage, so that means you have to build a Gwen Stacy. You know, Emma Stone's not one of those actresses that has like a bunch of weird fans that like make 3D models of her. Why is there no models of Emma Stone online? I weird sex guy 3D model guys, get on it. Put Emma Stone on CG Trader, okay? So I had to make a model of Emma Stone. I used a character creator to project Emma Stone's headshot onto like a rudimentary 3D model, but that ended up being useless because I made her land face down anyway. I mean, it's pretty close to what she's wearing, so that's gonna be good enough. And that's how we do VFX here at Corridor Digital. We have our model of Gwen Stacy. We throw her into Mixamo. Wonderful site, plenty of lovely motion capture animations that are just pre-made for you. Here's a lovely Mixamo animation, somebody falling and landing really, really hard. And then that ends up with me having a model of Emma Stone hitting the ground, black, mask everybody out. And then After Effects has a feature called Content Aware Fill, which is the greatest thing ever. So we put our 3D model on top of our claim plate. It doesn't even look good. So we're gonna just build up our layers, right? You need to have blood mist, so her body just emits like a fine powder, because that's how bodies work. Blood splatters that all animate on. She needs to like leave like a cloud of dust. And then there is one more element. Spider-Man comes down and lands right on top of her, creating the amalgamation of the two, the ultimate fusion of male and female, 8 legs, a human spider corpse thing.
Hey, let's make a train sequence. Given the amount of new shots I was going to have to create from scratch, I decided to recreate the entire scene in CGI. Why not? It's easy. We can buy models on the internet. They're cheap. So I bought some models of New York buildings. I bought a train model and a model of Spider-Man, and I tailored them to fit my needs. I modeled some tracks. Okay, so for the shot where Toby's arm is getting ripped off, we take our CG arm, and the first thing I did to that was I simulated both the cloth and the skin tearing apart with like a cloth simulation, so they dangled a little bit. Then I grabbed some models of muscles and veins, and I did another light cloth simulation on top of those to make them flap around a bit and look gross. Then that was looking pretty good, but really the cherry on top of these shots is the blood spurts, the blood on the lens, and the camera shake. The camera shake really is doing most of the work here. Who are we kidding? The most difficult shots, though, were the ones where I had to completely remove Toby's arms and add bloody stumps instead. And so for that, I decided to just go the full CG route. So I was just like, everything's CG. So we have the existing shot as our background plate, and then we 3D track the camera of that, so then we can bring in our CG train to slap on top of it, covering Toby's arms and removing that problem. And then we take our CG model of Spider-Man, put that on top of Toby, and use the background footage as a reference to exactly animate and match the movements of his body in the shot. Frame by frame, going through, moving it, tweaking it, rotating it, which is a time-consuming process, but honestly, it's like not that bad. It took me like 20 minutes, and I threw some bloody stumps on there for the arms, and render that out, cut out Toby's head, slap it back on top, and you're good to go.
This is our pruning baton, or what do they call it in the show? A time stick. We have this big showdown at the end of our piece, which requires us to have Mobius and Dark Toby, Bully Maguire, fighting each other. So we have to take 2 separate scenes and marry them together somehow by lifting them from their respective scenes and putting them in our own background plates that we'll be shooting here in a second. So he's very backlit with just an orange key. The background doesn't necessarily need to have all of those elements, but it needs to imply that some of the light is bouncing off of certain objects. What that also requires is a couple of inserts where we have our pruning baton stabbing. Basically, we're gonna track in the CG element back into our hands for the inserts. There you go. The day has finally come. This video is finished, and we're gonna show it to everyone right here. Let's go. Keep on snapping, everybody. Keep on snapping.
I have not seen any of the Owen Wilson stuff that you've put into this so far. I've not seen all of your shots. I don't really know what to expect here, other than I'm extremely excited.
Dude, me too. I have been dying for this moment.
It's been hard all week, like resisting the urge to like look at your computer monitors and stuff.
We're giving you the thing they won't show you in movies.
My animation really stop talking.
The spider guy really messed things up.
I'm Mobius, by the way. I specialize in erasing undesirable realities in the multiverse. And this clean-cut Peter Parker just created a whole mess of undesirable. I mean, he made branching timelines that contain some of the most incompetent Spider-Man the TVA has ever seen. I'll tell you what, I'm gonna prune every last one of them.
Tally ho.
So good.
I'm gonna die.
You have a train to catch.
Any more bright ideas? You got a few? Yeah. We're slowing down.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Only one timeline left to prune. The worst Spider-Man of them all. Now dig on this.
Sub penis, Parker!
That was an experience. I'm out of breath.
Well, can I just say, Peter, that was insane.
Thank you, my son.
In the greatest way imaginable.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh, blown away, dude.
It just kept going and getting, it kept topping itself.
The splits, dude. Oh, it's so good. The grip with the toe, dude, was so good.
This one goes areas I didn't expect.
This is like, when I first saw this, my jaw was like, oh.
The muscle tear. The webbing. The webbing of the costume popping out is such a good detail, dude.
Yeah. The falling.
Dude, those simulations, though, that was insane.
Oh, thank you.
When you're working on it, I just kept seeing the layers develop as I turn around. Just more blood, more viscosity.
Mr. Smoothie.
Spider blender.
Oh, I love how they all just watch just the effortless. He's just like.
It's the looking up shot that really makes it.
Yeah.
I love the web just like totally misses.
Oh my god, that's so good.
This is so funny. Just a comp scene.
Only comp scene.
It's just so funny. Wait, what's that shot? Is that from a?
That's from, yeah, they say Penis Parker and...
Yeah, that's the famous line by Tony Ravioli.
When you were doing that shot, you knew in the end it was going to be like mosaiced out. So did you just put like a CG cylinder in there, or
No,
did
he
you?
used a photo scan.
Okay.
I actually did the exact same thing that I did for the dinosaur tail in Jurassic Park. Turns out spline dynamics work on both ends. So, and if you guys subscribe to CorridorDigital.com, you can see it without the mosaic.
No, you don't.
So if you're just watching this video for the first time of anything, we've got 4 Spider-Man videos coming out this weekend. We got Not Spider-Man.
Everyone got superpowers. Well, everyone but me.
VFX artists react to Spider-Man 2s. Those other ones came out yesterday, and this guy is up on the Quarter channel as well.
Bravo.
Yeah. I think it deserves a. Oh, you think?
All right.
And now you got it in you. Comp it in to everybody.
You guys should comment below for other weird R-rated ideas. We'll do it, hopefully. Also like and subscribe if you like this, because we're gonna do a lot more of these in the future, because it was such a blast. Thanks for watching.